This is problem number 11 from the June 2016 Algebra 2 exam. So Sean's team has a baseball game tomorrow, and we know that he pitches 50% of the time. We're also told that there is a 40% chance of rain during the game tomorrow. If the probability that it rains, given that Sean pitches, is 40%, it can be concluded that the two events are what? Well, you may instinctively think that this 40% they're telling us here represents the probability of raining and pitching, or we'll call them events A and B. But you gotta be careful with the phrasing here. It's the probability that it rains given that Sean pitches. So we're talking about an example of conditional probability here. So that's written using that big vertical line there. So let's give, so let's write this out. So the probability that it rains, we'll do R for rain, given that he's already pitching, we'll do S for his name, Sean. So that's how we write that. So this means that the probability that it rains, given that Sean is already pitching, we know it to be 40%. Now there's a special thing that happens for independent events. Conditional probability for two independent events will tell us that the probability of it raining, knowing that Sean's already pitching, is going to be equal to the probability of it raining. That proves that we're dealing with independent events. And we can see that it is true because there is a 40% chance of rain, and that does match the conditional probability of 40%. So we can conclude that they are definitely independent. By the way, if you're wondering how to check if they're mutually exclusive, remember that means that the probability of one plus the probability of the other have to add to 1. But you'll see that if you add these two probabilities together, you get 0.9, not 1. So that's just one way to check whether or not they're mutually exclusive. Anywho, that's all for this video, and thanks for visiting JD's Regents Preparation.